All right, buckle up. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 cool ways to use ChatGPT to boost your editing workflow. Guess what? This trick works pretty much with any editing software out there. But in this tutorial, we're going to use CapCut. All right, guys. Let's get started. Number 1, feed it with graphic design. I'm not a graphic designer, so we're going to go to Canva to create something basic. So when we're going to Canva, this is some basic design that I did. Just a black circle shape, and also with a day 1, day 2, and day 3 with a green background. I like to keep the green background so I can easily take it out later on. So from here, we can just go to share, download, and make sure we choose here PNG, and then we can download the file. So when you come to ChatGPT, we can go straight to the folder where we have the image. We can drag and drop it in this very side. So we're going to feed it with this very prompt. When you look at it, I'm like, take my current design and upgrade it to look like it was crafted by 100,000 design team. I always like using the 100,000. It makes it look more luxury. Then you can add the rest to it: sleek, professional, minimal, something like Apple would design. From here, you can just hit on enter, and ChatGPT is going to take a few minutes to create that image for you. So it was able to create this very image. From here, this very image, I can take it to any editing software and just remove the green. But sometimes I can just add this very prompt: please remove the green background, and it's going to create a transparent file for you to use. From here, all you have to do is hit on download, and later on take it to your editing software. So I'll be showing you guys in CapCut later on when we are done with creating all the files in ChatGPT. Number 2, make icons better. This is going to make your edit stand out. You know, most of the icons comes in very flat, so you can take it to ChatGPT to make it more interesting. So I can go for the logo that I want to make it more interesting. Just drag and drop it in on this side. Then I can feed it with this very prompt: redesign this logo to look like it was created by 100,000 design team. As you can see, I love using the 100,000 design. From here, you can just hit on enter, and ChatGPT was able to create this. So when you see side by side, you can see the difference between the images. The other one looking a bit flat, and the new one having this 3D look, making it more interesting. Number 3, feed it with prompts. This time we'll start from scratch, pretending we don't know anything about design. And yes, I don't know much about design, so I can go to ChatGPT and input this very prompt: create an image of clean, modern, 4-level pyramid. I was just thinking of having a pyramid of success, how success story goes. So I instructed it with this, and also I added the colors: level 1 being survive, all the way to level 4 with success being green color. And then I was like, the pyramid should be vertically aligned, so I want it to be from top to the bottom. So you just add all these prompts, giving it exactly the instructions you want from ChatGPT. From here, you can just click on enter, and ChatGPT was able to create this. And one important thing, always keep a note somewhere you'll be having all your prompts. It's gonna make your life easy. Number 4, feed it with reference image. I do this a lot when I'm editing. Whenever I'm watching an edit that I love so much, any image or icons or PNG that I see in the edit, I make sure I pause the video and then take a screenshot of that. So this is an image I took from one of the videos. I'm gonna drag and drop it in this very side. From here, one way you can do is you can tell ChatGPT to create a similar image, and most of the time it's going to create something a little bit different, so it's not going to be like you copied the person. But most of the time, this is what I do. I instruct it to give me a good prompt from this image, and it's going to give you this very nice prompt that you can use. I can then copy that and add a little bit of what I want ChatGPT to do. Then I will add create an image of, and I'll add the prompt and change some few things in there. Then it's going to be able to generate this. So when you look at the original video I dropped in, and also when you look at what it was able to generate for me, you can see it came out very clean. Now let's take you to CapCut to show you how to go about it. So we are in CapCut now. I'm going to bring in this very background, and this was the first one we created. I'm going to show you guys with the first one. You can go about it using the rest of them. Just drag and drop in the timeline. From here, I can just increase it a bit, and this I'm going to add basic animation to it just to show you guys. So with the first one selected, what we can do is we can go to mask, add mask, and we can select only the first. From here, I'm going to add my animation to it before I do any changes to it. So I can go to basic, add keyframe on transform, and also on opacity. Then I can go somewhere 25 to 30 frames ahead, and I can drop second keyframe on transform and also opacity. Now we can go back to the previous keyframe keyframe, and over there we can take it all the way down here. Let me minimize this so you can see. Before we take it, let's rotate it a bit, and then on the y-axis I can take it all the way down till it disappears on the screen. It's gonna come in nicely this way. Now let's make that smooth. Right click on that, show preset, and this time around I'm gonna go for cubic out. Let's close that. From here, what you can do is make a duplicate of this file, press Option or Alt and drag it somewhere here. Make sure you go somewhere 5 frames ahead, and then the second one is going to start coming in. So my playhead on that side, I can go 5 frames again ahead, and I can make a duplicate of this and drop it since it's 3 files. Now take your playhead somewhere in the middle. Let's select the middle file, go to mask, and now we can move the mask and select the middle file. Now select the third one, and we're going to select the last file. From here, you can make a compound clip of it, Option or Alt G. Then somewhere here when it comes in, we can zoom in a bit, drop a keyframe on transform, go 20 frames or 25, and increase the scale to this size. Now let's make that smooth. Right click on the second point, show preset, and this time around we'll go for quad ease. From here, what you can do is you add motion blur to it. It's always going to make your animation look smooth. And one thing about CapCut, when we have keyframes on it this way, motion blur doesn't really come out clean. So we're going to make another compound clip, Option or Alt G. From here we can turn on motion blur, take it to somewhere 60, and then we can blend it in nicely. Now when I take it to the beginning, just look carefully at this. When I turn it off, you can see what the motion blur is doing. It adds a bit of smoothness to it. Now from here, when you play, it comes in nicely, and then it zooms in nicely. So that will be all for today. If you want to know more about CapCut, I just dropped a course. Link will be down there below. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.